Hi guys, my name is Vivian. I'm the founder of the NYC Data Science Academy. I'm very happy to host you here to see our students work. And I just want to give you a brief introduction if you haven't been here before. So I run NYC Open Data because I really truly believe the power in open data to leverage to help you to have a better choice, knowledge, decision. And I started Meetup in May almost this time, May 23rd. And at that time, I was doing a lot of volunteering. I was making food for homeless, and I realized I need to teach people more. So the benefits stay. So after running this meetup for about half year, I launched my school program because we get a lot of corporate needs and the individual needs. So I invite all the experts in the industry to teach with us to contribute back to the community. And we host a lot of like chief data scientist events. We also ask our students to share their work, and all the code is reproducible. And give you a taste what you can do with data science. And this space is our campus, and we host full-time courses called 12-week bootcamp here. We also do part-time class over Saturday, Sunday, and workday night. So if you're interested, check us out. And our student, the current bootcamp is in the 6 weeks of their program. They're looking for a job. If you're hiring, talk to us. We don't charge any fee. We just want our student get the best job ever. So talk to us. And Stephen was alumni from last cohort, and he's principal. Oh yes, he got you're a principal data scientist at Verizon, right? And he has PhD of maths and has been doing modeling for a lot of years. So we have very, very highly qualified alumni here for hire without any charge, and highly, highly recommended. And you can check out their work from the website. The student project showed you what they can do from end-to-end solution. They come up with the question, they deconstruct it and find a way to solve it. And all the code, all the reasoning is reproducible. So you can see at people how they think, how they can solve problem with scaling through their work. It's much better than listening to someone say they can do something. You see all the work here. And if you click their name, you can see their background. Like Yarnik have PhD of chemical engineering. So we mainly focus on people have PhD degree or master degree from STEM major. We think it's impossible to teach people math in 12 weeks, but it's possible to teach very mathematical, statistical people be good at coding and understanding data science well. So that's the background. Do you have any questions before I start tonight's presentation? Great. So who would be the first one to present? Come join me. And we have a site called shiny.nycdatascience.com. It's aggregating everyone's work. So you can go here and have a view of their work, and you can click it to see all the individual projects and play with their work. Great. So come on. Thank you so much. We'll get started.
Thanks.
You need to put right on the. I need help.
Okay.
可以吗? Say something so he can test it.
Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Sorry. You probably need to put closer.
Is this good?
Yes.
Can people hear me? Okay, great. So hi, I'm Rob Castellano. I'm a member of the bootcamp right now. So I'm going to present my Shiny app on.
Where did you get education?
Oh, we're doing that. Okay. So I actually very recently received my PhD in math from Columbia, or actually maybe I will receive it tomorrow. To be precise.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll also write every good talk starts off with an apology, which is that today I had some dental work done, which they assured me wouldn't affect my speech, but I think all of you and me will disagree with that. So say if you can't understand anything I'm saying. So like I said, my shiny app is on cultural institutions in New York. So one of I've lived in New York for a bunch of years now, and one of my favorite things to do is to experience all the various culture in New York. So the data I have is from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, which has a database of all the cultural institutions in New York. So I'm going to walk you through a couple features of the app and why you might care about them. So the first feature is all the cultural institutions are divided by discipline. So on the left here, we see all the different disciplines: architecture and design, botanical, crafts, music, etc. So what you can do is you can pick your favorite disciplines. So for example, museums, and it will plot all of the museums in New York. And you can pick something else, for example, maybe dance, and it overlays on top of it. And then everything's interactive, so you can zoom in on where you want and click on an institution and get some basic information about it. If you're hooked up, this will actually call the thing, so it tells you the name of the institution, the address, the discipline, the phone number, etc. So one of the great things about this app is that so New York has all these cultural institutions to deal with, that it's actually kind of like an embarrassment of riches, and it can be a bit overwhelming to deal with things. So for example, about 2 months ago, I met up with a friend, and the friend asked me where I was, and I was like, oh, I have this this museum, which is 5 blocks from both my and her apartment, and she was like, oh, where's that? And so 5 blocks away, and she didn't even know where it was. So you can go to your neighborhood if you're visiting or wherever you live, and I encourage all of you to go to your neighborhood, click on the things you're interested in, and see what's around. So for example, in my neighborhood, there's the Inoue Chamber Ensemble, which I had not heard of 5 seconds ago. Okay, so the second feature of my app is to kind of get a more global information about New York. So what you can do is, again, you can choose your disciplines. So I'll unselect things. We start off with nothing, and you can select what you want. So for example, museums. And then what it will do is that it will map the number of museums in every zip code of New York. So you can get an idea of which zip codes have more institutions or less institutions. And then in the upper right-hand corner here, you can either shade by the total number of institutions or the number of institutions per square mile. So here there's a very tiny zip code in Lower Manhattan that apparently has quite a few museums, or is very small. So if we click on all of the institutions, we can kind of get an idea of the distribution of culture in New York. So kind of unsurprisingly, we see that there's a big concentration in Manhattan, and in the outer boroughs, Queens and Brooklyn by the East River and North Shore of Staten Island. Again, this map is completely interactive, and you can click on the zip code to get the number of institutions that you selected. So here we selected all of the institutions. So in the zip code 10036, which is maybe this zip code, there are 70 institutions total, and similarly you can do this for per square mile. So this can kind of give you an idea of the things you're interested in, where are these institutions. And the final is just a crude search feature that searches all the institutions, whether you want to search by name or address or discipline, or if you have a phone number to an institution. I don't know why you would have that, but if you did and didn't know what it was to, you could search that. So for example, maybe I'll search opera, which isn't a designated discipline, and now we have 4 pages of opera, and you have the information for each of these. So I encourage all of you to play around with the app, see what's in your neighborhood. So I guess there are kind of a bunch of ways that this can be improved. Kind of improving the first component, the user side of things, adding more information that you might also be interested in. And as far as zip code, something I'd be interested in doing. So we have information about, this gives you the information about number of institutions per zip code. Examining this versus some other information about the zip codes, whether it be housing prices, things like this, I think would be interesting to see if there was any correlation between these. So that's my app. Thanks. Are there any questions?
Can you try to search dance for me?
Dance? Well, dance is a designated discipline, so we can see all of the dance things if that's what you want.
Based on Google Maps?
No, this is based on Leaflet. Yeah, it's built on Leaflet.
It's OpenStreetMap, right?
I think it's a different one, if I remember correctly. Oh, it is. Okay, then yes. I couldn't remember which one I ended up picking.
I'm just wondering, where did you deploy all this app? I tried
Like the back end?
Yeah.
So everything's in Shiny, everything's coded in R. Yeah.
It's for free?
Yeah, everything's free. All the data was open source. All of my data, my code is open source on GitHub. If you go to the blog Vivian mentioned, everything's there. You should be able to reproduce this.
So Shiny server is not free for
Yeah,
commercial use?
I don't think it's free because I tried. It only gave me like 50 hours.
You're right. There is some limit, but yeah, there is some amount that is free. Yeah.
But can we kind of like embed this app to our like own website? Is that possible?
Yeah. So there is a free place that you can upload this to that you could host it as long as you're not getting that much traffic on your website. I think that would be okay, though I'm probably not the person to ask this
So
question.
ShinyApps.io only
Yeah,
allows you
yeah.
for free usage for 1 hour per week.
Oh, that's what it
limited
is.
hours.
But you can host it on your Linux server. We're hosting our server.
Yeah, that's my question.
I'm not hosting them to teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
So how big is the data? How many tables?
I believe there were something like around 2,000 institutions. Yeah.
So it's basically one table with 2,000 nodes.
Yep. Yeah, and then so there's the zip code information. So things like the square mile zip code was different data, but again.
So it's like a SQL data, or is it just a file?
It was just a file. Yeah, just a CSV. Yeah, I guess I didn't. So it's from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, but the data is all available through NYC Open Data. It's linked through there, so everything's
So
open access.
Did you process the data like?
Yeah. I mean, there was some processing to be done. Yeah.
I forgot to ask him, but are you showing this on a web browser or?
Yes, this is on the web browser. Yeah. I think right now it's being hosted on the Bootcamp server. But
So we need to use any like Python, anything like that.
I used R. Yeah, it was based in R. So I did the cleaning and analysis in R. Backend's all in R.
And how many hours did you put into this?
I guess. Yeah. A week of nights and a whole weekend, maybe plus a little
Not too
more.
bad, come on.
It's not. And this, I'll say this is my first Shiny also. So, thank you.
So top at 25 hours?
Oh,
For the nights, 1 week of nights?
yeah, I'd say it's probably less than that
Cool.
total.
Anyone want to pay for this kind of work? 25 hours, that's it.